back to the Harness Racing Show. Joining me online is Dean Bowring from TESTMATING.com. He's the proprietor of TESTMATING.com, which all of the studs around Australia actually use as their test mating for stallions, and he's got some interesting statistics to talk to us about. Good morning, Dean.
How are you, Gary, and how are all the good people down in South Australia?
Yeah, I'm travelling well, and all the other good people I think might be okay too. So, Dean, tell us a little bit about test mating, how it works, basically. Most people that have actually got a mare has probably used it at some stage, even though they may not have known what it was or what the title of it was, and some of the stats that have come out that you've taken notice of early in the season.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Well, just quickly, test mating is a database where we run for the industry. My wife likes to think it's a non-for-profit, but that's not technically true. We have over 1 million horses in our database. Of course, most of them link back to those three great stallions. Darley, the Arab horse, back in 1680, I think, by memory. Plus, you've got that Biley Turk horse at 1678 or thereabouts, and a few others. So we have the best database in the world,
right,
harness racing. We're very proud of it. We work very hard at keeping it updated. And it's really good linkage for all the breeders to be able to go back in time to find out those really important horses in their pedigree. So the core numbers are over 1 million horses. There's not a harness racing horse that we don't know about.
Right.
We spend a lot of money and a lot of energy on updating it, and we're really, really proud of it.
Dean, sorry, go on. I was going to say, most people can find test mating on the stud's website. When they click on look at a stallion, it'll have hypothetical mating, and that's actually the test mating, isn't it, they're going into?
Yeah, it is. We don't actually run our own website as such. So when you go, let's use an example of Alabar. When you go onto their website, you click on a hypothetical mating, that actually comes up as into our program, and it's really our website. It's just a hyperlink we've created for them.
Right.
So we do this for all the studs, and we provide a world-class product for all the people in Australia, free of charge. Thank you to the support of those studs that make it available to their clients. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, tell us about some of the trends you've noticed early in the season. Obviously, you're able to capture some of the data of what people are looking at, what stallions they're looking at, etc.
Oh, Gaz, that's a great point. There's almost like a what's hot and what's not list. If we have a look at what's hot, what people won't really know is right now there's a few stallions that are basically booked out, and they do every year about this time. So we won't spend too much time on them. But
such as Bettor's Delight,
the Mac 3s. American Ideal will book out this year the way the data is going
really?
For the first time, which is a really good result. Some Beach, as you know, has probably already got closed up already, and probably the only one that fits outside of that box is Roll with Joe for other reasons outside of popularity. He is why they restrict his book. So they're the stallions that are pretty much done and dusted as far as bookings go at this point. I'm sure the studs would tell you to check in later on in the season because openings may present themselves.
Yes.
Right now, they're the stallions that we've booked out. What's not hot, and I've got to be a little bit careful what I say here, but I think the big numbers of a horse like, say, Mr. Feelgood that served 347 odd mares 2 years ago. At this point, I think he's down a tad. Interestingly enough, this time last year, Hurricane King Cole was on the what's not hot list. He's had a little bit of a resurgence, and I see a bit more activity for him this year, and that's probably due to the price decrease.
Yeah, you can go to him for $500.
That's right. This time last year, Gary, he was at $3,300, and that just didn't work in our market. And I think probably if people were to look at his dam line is why they couldn't move him at that price. But now at $500, I see a bit more activity, and I think he'll get a few more mares this year.
For sure. Okay. Other than the what's hot and what's not, what about the middle range? Is there anything?
Now this is where I see the market changing in Australia. You have the elite horses that everybody talks about, but I think there's some sensational value at the bottom end. And I've got a few where the interest is just overwhelming, and I probably want to start with All American Ingot. Ian and Judy Slater from Good Time Lodge. with conjunction with Ross Tor, have moved the horse from WA. This is a world-class horse that hasn't been getting the right amount of numbers in the West.
Right.
He's come to Victoria. His interest has just gone through the roof. Now, there's a few reasons for this, Gary. He obviously was an elite racehorse. He raced against the likes of Mach 3, Art Major. He won, north of $1 million. Mm-hmm. He has probably the best pedigree that hasn't been spoken about. He has a full sister, of course, which is the mother of Pure Country, who is the best race filly we've seen in years. She's probably won $1.6 million or very close to it.
Yep.
She's by Sun Beach. He's got $1 million broodmare credit. This stallion has ticked every box, and thanks to Ian and Judy, and of course Ross, they've bought this stallion at $990, and I think this is one of the greatest initiatives I've seen in my time in harness racing. World-class genetics at a really good price, and I think they should be really proud of what they've done.
Excellent. Any others?
Yeah, I do. Listen, I've got a bit of a list I'll go through with you.
Yep.
I think a horse, Gary, like McArdle, there was an announcement made on our website yesterday. AlphaStud.com is a new player in the scene, and they're looking around the world for world-class stallions that sort of don't have that hints, maybes, hopeful type approach. They want stallions that have proven to work over time in all sorts of broodmares. I know off the top of my head, and I know a bit of a numbers man, but McArdle's got more than 150 100-plus K winners, and they stretch over 62 different broodmare size.
Right.
This is a world-class stallion, and I believe, from what I'm told, they're running some sensational specials. So go to alphastud.com.au and you'll get yourself a really good deal there. The other horses, Gary, that I'd sort of like to mention as well, I think Fly Like an Eagle at Euroby. He's coming back this year. I love that horse's pedigree.
Yes.
He's a son of Mach 3, which we know is a sire of sires. He's out of that amazing N88 family, which you would know very well, and I'm sure all the listeners do, with horses like Changeover, the one close to $2.3 million. You had Choke and the one $1.8 million, are very closely related to this horse.
Yep.
And I believe he's worth a really good go. Another horse that's going to get a fair bit of interest, I would have thought, would be a horse like Follow the Stars that is in the West. And I know there's a bit of a saying that you can't make a horse from the West, but I don't believe this.
No.
He got 84 mares last year, and there were some good quality mares in that group.
Yes.
Reports are he'll go close to 120 to 130 mares this year.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, Bob and the team at Allwood Stud are really good people. They're looking after their clients. I think a horse like that is worth a look for the right family. Again, his bottom line is very strong, and I think to the right mares, he's a real chance.
Excellent. Dean, we're running out of time, but just briefly, it's great to have your other company, harnessbred.com, back on board with the South Australian Yearling Sale in 2017.
Oh, it is, Gary. I mean, I love coming down there. There's something about South Australians. They're just great people, and we want to get behind them. The sale this year, I get the sense will be bigger and better.
Yep.
I really want to make sure that people come out and support your concept down there. We do. We put our money behind it, and we're just really privileged to be involved.
Excellent, Dean. Thank you for your time this morning. It's Dean Baring from TESTMATING and also harnessbred.com.